この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Mobile Monosodium Zeta Glutamate, episode 6 and maybe 7. I will mention that I had a pretty bad sore throat last night. I'm not sure why. I think it was maybe just from over talking. It's pretty much gone now in the morning, but I still feel something weird there and I don't want to push it. We'll see. It might be 2 episodes, might be 1. We'll see. We'll figure it out. Last time on Mobile Suit Gundam, we watched episodes 4 and 5, our first double drop for the show. And those episodes were Emma's Decision and Father and Son. We started off with a fight with Iceman being broken up. His name is Jared. I know this. I'm still going to call him Iceman. It seems right to me. We broke up that fight and returned with Camille and Emma and some other people all the way back to the home base place. I forget where that is. Is it Grips? It might be Grips. Regardless, Emma talked to some superiors and some things went down, and she decided that she was going to help them escape. And by them, I mean both Franklin and Camille. Franklin, though, yeah, some stuff is going to go down with that. He demonstrates that he is actually a relatively good mobile suit pilot, which is sort of unexpected from this sort of frumpy, like, businessman-looking guy. But apparently he's an engineer who built them, and he really likes them, and he knows how to fly them, so that's pretty cool. And we end the episode with Emma becoming tentatively a member of our crew and a friend to us, but Char is still suspicious because she's a member of the Titans and they're pretty highly vetted, so maybe she's just sneaking or being a double agent. Of course, he's going to be suspicious because Char has his head on a swivel and knows what's up. But I'm hopeful. I'm really hopeful because I'd really like for Emma to be a part of our squad. I think she's really cool and also really cute, and I want to have her around and also not have her die, please. That would be nice. Thank you, Tomino. Thank you, Tomino. Please don't murder the characters that I like. We'll see. We also had Camille cast some absolutely brutal shade on Jared, talking about how he forgives him for the death of his mother, but really doesn't forgive the organization that ordered him to do this, and it's pretty neat. He also says some stuff like, I'm just straight up better than you, and I'm not worried about it. If you fight me and, catch me outside, dude. Catch me out in space. I'll fuck you up. It's so great. It's so great from Camille being, insane, being absolutely nuts. I don't think that he's a very intelligent boy at the moment. I mean, at least I would say, instead of saying that he's not intelligent, he is very much driven by and bound by his emotions, controlled by them. And that means that he's basically out of control most of the time. And that's terrifying and also very cool. But great for this character who's growing and changing and learning from a bunch of interesting people who have a lot to teach him. I love it. I love it. I like it a lot. We move on to talk about episode 5, Father and Son, which might sound like a wholesome, heartfelt recommunion between these characters, and it's not that. Franklin decides that he wants to steal the Rick Diaz because that seems like a good idea to him, so he does so after threatening some random mechanics. Camille goes in hot pursuit, gets in a mech, and gets out there, and they sort of fight for a while. It gets weird for a while. Franklin demonstrates a complete lack of care about killing his own son, doesn't give a fuck, just tries to murder him and get away. But in the process, gets hit by a not-so-stray bolt of laser energy and is presumably killed. I'm still not 100% sure, but somebody did write to me that they think they're pretty sure that he's just straight up dead. There's a crunch that happens when he gets shot by the laser, and whoever wrote that says that should imply that he is super dead and is just floating off into space forever, and nobody's ever going to find him again, which is great, in my opinion. I think that's great. I do think narratively it would be really interesting if he got picked up again. I still think that that's the case, but it's all right. And after returning to the Argama, we had a big roundtable intervention conversation with Camille, where Char almost reveals himself and also says some other really cool stuff that I ended up talking about for a while. And it was a really cool conversation that didn't sink into Camille at all, and so Camille ended the episode crying into his sheets and being an angry, sad boy who is bound and driven by his emotions and is thus out of control. Very sucks for him. He just lost both of his parents in a matter of hours, days, something like that. And in the process also realized that his father was down to kill him, didn't give a fuck. So we've sort of accelerated the Amuro has no companions, no relationships, no bonds sort of idea that happened by the point where we didn't know where his dad was and could have been dead. And his mom told him to get the fuck out of her town because he's a bad soldier boy who's evil. We've accelerated that a lot. And both his parents are dead, so now we have a good rogue boy. I'm sorry, that's just a Dungeons and Dragons joke because rogues often have no parents. It's just the way of things. Okay. Cool. That's that for there. And I think that transitions us nicely into the comments that I want to talk about from last episode. So first off, Pixel Saber writes, Tomino scripted the first 16 episodes of the series, so you're probably correct in attributing that particular line in episode 5. I don't know exactly which line you mean because he didn't point it out, but I assume you mean the ones that happen late at the end of the episode where he's talking to Camille and he, as I would put it, gives him the antidote to his suffering, which is to stop thinking about the past so much and start focusing on creating a better future. But Pixel Saber continues to write, you're probably correct in attributing that particular line in episode 5 from Quattro to him in particular, especially as it is very relevant to some of his own personal views and ideals. By the way, it's definitely worth keeping that line in mind going forward in the show. If it's a different line that you're talking about, Pixel Saber, please let me know. I don't 100% know, but let me know. Cool. And then I'm going to move on to a comment by Jad the Mad, who has a One Piece profile picture, it looks like. Cool. I think the intro scene to episode 5 is supposed to foreshadow Franklin's fate. For starters, he ends up in the same way as that Zeon soldier floating into space forever. Later, the narrator says that people took the act of giving birth and raising children far too much for granted. You could easily replace people with Franklin, and it would sum up his attitude toward his son Camille, and possibly toward his creation, the Gundam Mark II. He seems to be equally resentful of both of them by the end, perhaps. Considering that it is both of his creations that end up killing him, the Gundam essentially, and also his son. Yeah, that makes sense. Whilst the narrator is saying all of this, the camera seamlessly pans from the vacuum of space to the inside of a colony where a swarm of butterflies fly in a manner that resembles debris from a breach in the side. I think this is meant to symbolize that while life can thrive in space, the line between life and death is paper thin, and people can often lose sight of that. Few people seem to lack this perspective more than Franklin Bidon, never showing any respect for the people around him nor the dangerous situations he finds himself in. Ultimately, it is his ego and carelessness that do him in. He failed to respect his son, his creations, and the dangers of space combat. Now, like the Zeon soldier, he is doomed to be lost forever, dreams unfulfilled, never to find peace. Sorry if that got a little rambly, it's just a collection of ideas I had. I haven't seen any further into the series, so I have no idea if it actually holds true. So sick! What a sick comment! I like your writing style, Jad the Mad. And I like how you extrapolate out from what you see and take those scenes and consider what you think that they might imply or represent in the broader scope of things, and then take that a step further into talking about the overall meaning that that has for the character of Franklin Bidon and his death. And I think that this is a really cool comment, and I give you thumbs up on this. I don't 100% know if you're right. I don't know if I necessarily agree with everything that you've written. I don't know if I necessarily agree with your view that this symbolizes that while life can thrive in space, the line between life and death is paper thin and people can lose sight of that. But it does seem to track, and so if you want to believe that, I think that's super duper reasonable. So good comment. Okay, and oh yeah, all right. So the person who commented the thing about the smashing, I will mention, is Jale Coke Respawn, who also writes. Also, you don't have to worry about mispronouncing my name since it's just a bunch of letters I chose randomly, and I added the respawn when my original count got deleted almost 12 years ago. Thank you, Jailcock Respawn, Jale Coke, Jalecoca. I don't know how to. It's still a problem. Because I can't call you Jailcock, and that's what I want to call you, but I can't. It's wrong. It just feels wrong, and it just feels wrong. Anyway, even though Amuro's father ended up surviving and coming back later, the same is not true for Franklin. This is a little bit of a spoiler, but we'll let it slide. I'm okay with knowing this. I don't mind. The crunch when the explosion smashes him against the beam rifle implies that his body got mangled even if there isn't any blood shown, similar to how Hilda's death didn't show any gore either until we see the blood on the fingers of the Mark II in episode 4. I definitely think there's something to analyze about when Franklin is thinking about abandoning his old mobile suit, the Mark II, and moving on to building a newer and better one while simultaneously thinking about his young lover in bed. Like he's thinking about building a new relationship and possibly a new child while abandoning his previous failed creation, Camille, viewing both the machines and the people as nothing but tools. Wonderful. I like this a lot. It explains a lot to me, and it makes that make sense, and I hard agree with it. I think that doing 2-episode reactions is a good plan for Zeta, although at some points the episodes may feel a bit disjointed, especially later on. This is because in addition to Tomino, there are 2 main writers on Zeta, Endo and Suzuki. Aside from some 2-parters, the writers are usually in rotation from episode to episode, and they can have some differences in how they portray certain characters in their episodes. Tomino's script credits last up to episode 31, and even then Tomino is known for doing a lot of uncredited ghostwriting on his shows, like in First Gundam when he only had script credits for episode 14, even though he definitely had a hand in the scripts of every episode to varying degrees, so this shouldn't be a problem for a while, but it's just something to keep in mind. Wonderful. Thank you for a deeply informative comment, at least at the beginning and at the end. Then in the center is a very insightful comment where it talks about Franklin's flash-through sort of scene where he's thinking about giving up on one failure instead of focusing on it and trying to fix it, as well as, yeah, I think this is a great comment. You did great. Yeah, really good one, Jalekok Respawn. I like this comment a lot. Good job. Okay, I think those are all the comments that I want to go through for right now. We are moving into episode 6 of Mobile Suit Gundam. Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, I'm still doing that. I know. And I actually closed it, so I don't have it up, so give me a second to get it all up and ready to go for us, everybody. Okay, we're up and ready, but before we get into it, I remembered something and somebody that I have to shout out. Shoutouts to Quartz GG, who I haven't seen really comment a lot or post in my Discord a lot since Symphogear was happening, but has been active in the Symphogear threads and stuff like that. Quartz was responsible for the copy of Symphogear XV that I ended up using, which is super wonderful. Thank you, Quartz Gungrave. Quartz gungrave ats me and says, "Hey, at Teeaboo, I have critical Zeta info for you. Swap to the second subtrack on the Zeta Rebel release, and it'll have the OP and ED translated, and you'll get white text instead of yellow during the episode. The translation is exactly the same, barring one yes sir changed to just yes. The subtitle timing / how some lines are shown when multiple people are talking is slightly different as well, but it's not a problem. I found the white text just as easy to read as the yellow." I'm down. Yeah, let's go for it. So from this point forward, unless there's a flaw that we find later, I will be switching to the full subs OZC SSA instead of the picture-generated Blu-ray disc subs for Gundam, and then we'll have it translated OP and ED, and also better text styling, hopefully. Hopefully that's useful to you. Hopefully that's all good for all of us, and that's what we're going to do. So here we are for Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Episode 6, To Earth. I don't know how we're going to be getting to Earth, but we're going to Earth. Super sweet. No expectations except curious things, cool art, great music, and that's about it. Let's go ahead and give it a watch. Okay, shilling stuff. If you want to support the channel, Patreon exists. If you want to support my other projects right now, the second channel exists. It's Teeaboo 2, or at the moment it's TND. I'm currently posting really in-depth character builds. I roll random stats, and then I build a character for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. If that sounds like fun to you, go check that channel out and maybe subscribe to it, because I'll be posting more of those. I'm addicted to doing it, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's really fun to me. Anyway, I think that's it. Let's fucking go for Mobile Suit Gundam Episode 6, To Earth. Beep beep timer. Ooh, I like this. It's also closer to the bottom of the screen, which is better for me. Ah, so flowy. Such beautiful lettuce. Ooh, I need chapstick. It's not chapstick, it's not that brand, but that's what we call it. I do believe in a sign of Zeta. To Earth. Ooh, hi, Earth. Hello, not white base. That looks a lot like white base. I love these slow, quiet establishing shots in space. They're really nice. I like them a lot. Oh, we are being pursued. Indeed, and that's the new custom battleship thing, right? Okay. Classic GMs. So those are Earth Federation forces, I would assume. Hello? Wait. Wait, what? That looks like a familiar character. Hello, Iceman? I'm a fucking titan. Hey. What's up? I know who you are. Oh, Iceman. Yo, I think she's flirting with you, dude. Just shitting all over him. Alright, but you got superior officers now. Yum. Or Earth. Mmm. Oh, they're pulling back a little bit? Reasonable. Laser Defense Satellite Network. Sweet. Yeah, what are we doing? Rekoa? She's the... Yeah, green and red hair, right? Oh, he's the... What is it then? So they're trying to repair it. So he's redesigning it because he's a fucking genius. Oh, so it's a fusion. It's exactly what Franklin wanted. You gave it a name, the what? You gave it a what, the name? I think that has a lot to do with it, dude. No. I don't know. I like this voice actor for Astonaj. Well, the last person who knew about cool things fucking stole them. Oh, oh, buddy. Oh, buddy, she's gonna fucking die if you fall in love with her. Fuck you, dude. Oh. Uh, nope. Nope. A present for me? Ooh, I like that shadow on the wall. Come here, stop running away. Stop it. You fool. Oh, what the fuck? That was cool, the way that they crossed each other in the hallway, though. Again, these hallway scenes really make the ship. It's really cool. Thonk thonk. Oh, hi. Booty call. Knock knock. I'd rather you had a reason. Hey. Hey. Hey, what's up? Hey, girl, what's up? Hey, please respond. But you brought it up. Hmm. Too many girls. Way too many. Oh my god, dude. What the fuck? What are you even on about, dude? What? What? Whoa. Yeah? Oh, she thinks she's gonna die. Yeah, well, she's definitely disembarking. Wow, that was really cool. Ooh. We're all being watched. Demonet. Hmm. Wants to forge something that can't be forged. Wow, that's so cool. Right, they shot the side. Why did they do that? So many cool angles throughout this episode already. That doesn't justify evil. That doesn't work. And we're crushed. Blew it up. Ooh. And that once again brings up World War II memories hard. Not Earth. Well, it shouldn't have. Yeah. That would seal the deal. So nah. Hell yeah. Right, learning new things. Understanding a little bit more of the scope of what you're involved in. Hmm? So they're integrating a bunch of military into Titans? Yay! A small price to pay for becoming part of a fascist autocracy. Bruh. Why are you so mean? It's kind of hot. Stop it. Stop it. Hmm. I don't know this character's name. Her. I don't like it though. Her. That flip was really cool. Whoa! What? Fucking idiot. Yeah, beat him up, dude. Oh, fucking sick. Ow. Ow. He's an Earthnoid. It's not the same. I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm so cool. Ah, you're not adjusted, just copiuming. Precision. Intelligence. Yeah! Until? Oh. I'm not like other girls. Whoa, she just commented on him? What the fuck, dude? She's so mixed messages. Mixed messages. Bye. Yeah, you're a little noob boy. Now that hurt him. What do I have to do? Nausea, for my own pride. Oh, let me comment on you back. Come join me. Whoa. There was so much tension there, right? Like, woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Holy moly. I'm sorry for going in on that aspect of that whole conversation, but that was tense. I felt that. Woof. Hmm. Oh, what a line. Nope, I've got a specific goal and it's a thing that I want to stop. Awesome. What do you feel you should do? Oh, Sorei. If you feel like you're doing the right thing, it is the right thing. I love it. She's descending to Earth, so Rekko is going to Earth. Okay. Oh god, I love Char. I mean, Quattro. Quattro, Char's Nebel. Eh? Really? Fallen in love with older ladies? Yeah, it reminds me of Amuro Ray too. Tell me no. Oh, somebody's gonna get in your way. Big gulp. Yum. Oh, I guess we're going into it. .360 vision. Sense their fighting spirit. But what is that a Galbaldi? Think so. Is he trying to become a new type? Is he a new type? Hello. Right over there. I love how they're moving through space. Oh, she's just bouncing. What the fuck? I want you. I love you. Your normal suit is abnormal cute. Sorry. Get your hand out of there, dog. All right. Bye. All right, let's clear the path for her to get there safely. Dozo. Zoom. Wow, that was great. These launch sequences are better. They're just so good. Huh. Hmm. Okay. Yes, restraint for the future. Ah, hand signals because we can't actually communicate. Very cool, very cool. God damn it. He's so good. Oop. Uh-oh. Whoa. Yeah, base GMs. Oh my god, the fact again the fact that he's in a white Gundam. Wow. Big sweeping shots. Whoa. Whoa. Ah, so rad. Okay, so that's the Hosenka. Got it. I mean, this is how you drop in combat. Jabudo? Oh, she's going to the base? For some reason? Oh shit, he's gonna steal another Gundam. Oh god, dude, bro. Hey, hey! You think they would have figured out that he's gonna do this? All the good. I'm gonna save the world. Oh boy. That's a lot of units. A disassembled Gundam? Mm-hmm. Let him handle it, silly boy. Oh, that spiral sweep was so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Wow, space combat feels so different in Zeta. She's vibing, dude. She senses their killing intent. I must learn from this. Please don't learn anything, Iceman. I need you to keep sucking. Mmm. Yep, we still skip it. It's gonna change again, huh? Oofa. Oh, hi. Boom, boom. Those little cut-ins are so neat. I loved that. Little cut-in, eyes, eyes. Oh. Shit. A whole ship. Oh? Dude, I have chills all the way up and down my entire body. Whoa! Whoa! 75 seconds. It's confusing. Oh, God. Not quite. Not quite. Ooh. Maybe projected his own killing intent a little bit. Oh shit, he's coming after you. And he dropped his gun completely. No. He's got me you. Mazui indeed. Oh shit. And there's a timer on it. Oh, it's so sick. Swing, swing. So cool. He's cleared the path. Dude, she's gonna fucking die. I don't think she's gonna make it. Oh my god, there's so much happening! Yes. Please, 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 please. Distracted. Oh. 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 Bye-bye. Go, Rekoa! Chui! Okay, she's gonna go and save him. Maketakunai! Wow! What a hero thing to say. What a main character thing to say, Iceman. You're not allowed to say that shit. Bit of a reversal. Yeah. And it's not a Gundam Mark II. Soon it will be a Zeta Gundam. Debris from battle. Right? Yeah. Rip in pieces, Mont Blanc. It actually is a happy ending. We made it. We did it. Rekoa didn't explode. In fact, nobody exploded. Except for the Mont Blanc, but we didn't really know anybody on there. We don't really care. Yikes. Fuck yeah. Not a horribly depressing, death-filled episode. Now I'm scared. Oh. Oh, well then. Alrighty. Oh boy, there was a lot of that in this episode. I like it. I'm down for it, but goddamn. Well, yeah, but yeah. Oh man, everything feels so much better. It feels like such a huge level up from Gundam 1 in every way. The way that the characters interact, the conversations that they have, the thematic undertones that they like belie by their statements, and the things about themselves that they tell us by what they say are amazing. The actual space combat, the launch sequences, the cool like whooshes as they go off past the camera, all of the laser effects, the confusion of being in a confusing battle. Like, this is something that I actually really love about this episode. I think that a lot of the battle scene at the end is actually pretty hectic and chaotic and confusing. It's unclear to me exactly who's piloting what mech at all times and where they are in relation to each other. It's confusing, but that feels right in the circumstance. It feels like this is a hectic and chaotic battle, and there are things that any individual in the battle can't predict or notice or see, and so a bunch of stuff is going on that you don't understand, and you're trying to figure out how to reach your goal through it. And that is the thing that stands out to me the most about the entire combat sequence at the end of this episode, is the way that we integrate a secondary goal into the combat. I think about this a lot. Sorry. I think about this a lot as a dungeon master when I'm running combats, and I run a combat basically every week. Every time that I run D&D, almost always will run a combat. There will be episodes where we don't, and that's totally fine. And those episodes are often very good and very full of role-playing and really cool, but pretty often I'll run a combat. There will be a combat. Something will attack our party, or they'll go somewhere and something will be there that doesn't want them there, whatever. But I find that combats that are just, you need to get past this thing, it's in your way, or this thing, it just wants to kill you or eat you, yeah, kill it and then you'll survive. They're cool and fun, but the real time when combat becomes really interesting in D&D is when there's a secondary goal, when there's something else going on. When there's somebody in the back of the room moving to push a button, and if they get to push that button, the room explodes or something crazy happens. And so everybody has to structure their combat and their choices in combat around that major motivation. In the case of this episode, the primary motivation for most of our characters on our side is to get Rekoa to Earth safely. So we have to clear the satellites, the laser defense satellites, and we have to prevent any of the other mechs or warships from shooting at her while she makes a clear path, a getaway through the clear path down to Earth for reasons, which we'll find out eventually. It's implied that maybe she's going to go meet Amuro, which seems cool to me. We see Amuro, which is cool to me. we also say the words Zeta Gundam in this episode, and that just makes me so happy. It really does. Love a good title drop. But it's that element of the combat and the way that it's integrated specifically. The fact that there's a countdown timer, so there's like a time limit on accomplishing our goals in combat, at least pushing an enemy away and out of her way, right? There's a time limit on it, and there's an emotionally fraught like threat to a character that Kamiyuu cares about at the very least. And also, it's a goal for all of us as a squad and part of our military operation to get her there. All of that together makes the combat feel so much more lively and alive and real and goal-oriented than just what we had for almost every combat situation in Campaign 1 of Mobile Suit Gundam, you might say, which was, Char go kill us, we no want die, run away, run away, run away. That was it, every time, right? Char, bring new mobile suits, come kill us, we run away. I guess it's a goal still, but it's that same kind of thing where it's like the enemy just wants to hurt you, and you want to not get hurt by them, and that's the whole goal. That's the whole reason that we're fighting. And it's justified to some extent by the political landscape and all of the things and all the characters and all that, yada yada. And that's totally fine, but it's better to have an ulterior motive, a secondary goal built into your combat situation because it's really cool. I started thinking about this because of the way that Brian Murphy and Brennan Lee Mulligan do their dungeon mastering. I think that Mercer in Critical Role, that Matt Mercer often writes combats that are pretty simple and are just like, thing want kill you, or you want get past thing, done. Brennan almost always has something else going on, like the factory encounter where there's like a weird glow underneath this big mithril factory, and it's from down below, and eventually finding out what that glow is really important for the entire combat and like for fixing things and stuff. And often there's like a secondary motivation that if you can finish that, the combat ends, right? So to think about it, like, maybe you go into a room and there are a bunch of skeletons in there and the skeletons attack you. But what if you go into a room and there are a bunch of skeletons in there and the skeletons attack you, but in the back of the room, there's a glowing obelisk that seems to be emanating energy, and that energy is pulsing out from it, and every time it pulses, the skeletons go brrr, and they seem to get stronger. Well, shit, our goal is no longer fight skeletons, it's figure out what the fuck that obelisk is and how to stop it, right? Like, that's a different kind of goal, and I think that's really cool, and I think that this episode does a really good job of giving that to all of our characters, and it makes for a much more exciting combat experience. And when I say combat experience, I'm mixing terms, I know, but what I mean is, it's visually and thematically and time-bound, it's more interesting, it's more fun, there's more going on, there are goals that we can track, even in the midst of the chaos that's created by the combat. We can focus on Rekoa and the countdown and making sure that Kamiyuu can get Iceman out of there and all that stuff. It's so fucking sick. Okay. Oh, it's so cool. I really like this episode. I do think we're just going to watch this one episode for the day, just because of how long I've already been recording and how my throat is feeling a little weird. But we'll see. Let's just go through the episode and talk about all the things. You boarding without introducing yourself? I guess you don't have to. You're well known for sucking. And all the goobers like, hee. Because you're a member of the Titans, I had greater expectations of you. And look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm really bad at reading flirting. I'm really bad at figuring out if that's happening. I'm so bad at it. I hate it. I hate it so much. My way of flirting is to go to somebody and be like, I like you. I like your face. Eat food with me. Which could work. It could work. But, is she flirting? I'm not sure. In like a hyper condescending, like, hot lady way? I don't fucking know. It's such a weird interaction because it's so full of mixed signals. And it's also, like, really Dom-y. Like, she's such Dom energy that I can't. I really like it, though. I think that the flow between these characters is really cool at the moment. And this situation where we've got this arrogant boy who she views as a boy because he's arrogant and also a fool and, like, doesn't have the ability to back up that arrogance. Butting heads with this seemingly extremely competent, especially in combat, very attractive, seemingly somewhat older but lower ranked woman, and like the relationship that builds out is so cool. It's so cute. and maybe twisted, they should definitely have some talks about boundaries and establish a safe word and stuff like that. Maybe negotiate kinks, but oh, it's great. It's great. It's good. Okay, so we get our whole mission statement, and a little bit later we get an implication that all of these soldiers are getting folded into the Titans, which is really interesting because they were all making fun of the Titans earlier, right? But they'll take it as long as there's a reward involved. And I love the moment when they talk about the extra days, 3 days of paid vacation to become a member of the Titans. It's like, dude, we get to be Nazis now. And we're higher ranked and we get more vacation. Let's go. We don't have to worry about anything. This is the right choice for me. No problem. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, and we set up the whole thing. We set up the pursuit of the enemy forces and our own ships heading toward Earth and the reasons that we need to do stuff. We set up the fact that the laser defense satellite network is there and we're going to get there in a certain time frame. It's really cool. Rekoa is going. We set all of it up. Can she do it? I love this moment from Char. There's no condescension in him. I don't think. I don't read it that way, at least. Dekimasu-kane. It's just the feeling of a commander curious about whether they're assigning the right person to a task. And I like it. I like it. Char's so cool. I love this pan across where we go from like the head and helmet of the Zeta Gundam. I assume it will be that one. To him designing the mobile suit. I also really like the voice actor for this guy. Astonaji-san. I want to look him up. In fact, we've never done this. I want to look up some of the other characters in Zeta Gundam as well. Just because I'm curious. Okay, well, Aznable Char is Shuichi Ikeda, and that spoils something for us, but that's okay. Nobuo Tobita is Kamiyu Bidan. Hopefully I don't spoil anything in this for myself. I don't think I will. Simon or Simone in Genga Densetsu. Neat. He is Major in Hellsing Ultimate. Neat. Ebisu in Naruto. And an absolute boatload of fucking other things, but I don't recognize him from any of them. Cool. Okay, Jared Mesa is Kazuhiko Inoue, who I know the name of. Oh, he's Dusty Attenborough. That tracks. That's really cool, actually. From the goodest boy to the baddest boy. Oh, he's Madara in Natsume Yujincho. That's where I know him from, probably. Okay, very cute. Astonaji is Shingo Hiromori, who I feel like I recognize, but I might be wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't recognize him from anything that I've seen. He's Caldwell in Genga Densetsu, which I don't recognize. Okay, cool. I'm about done with this. It takes up too much time, and it's not that interesting, but it is fun to look at voice actors and just get their names in my head and think about it. Is this the Gundam Mark II? Nope. This is really well designed. I designed it after the Mark II and Diaz and added a new armor. I even gave it a name. The Zeta Gundam. Let's hear it. So casual. Zeta Gundam, oh. So sick. And also the debris stuff is really cool looking. Why is he so resistant to being called a new type? Or at least to attributing his abilities to it? Does he not believe that he's a new type? Nobody's sat down and had a talk with him and been like, you're a new type. A new type is a person who has psychic powers. You're a psyker. Nobody's done that with Kamiyu. I don't know how much he knows about it. I don't know how common knowledge new typery is, really, amongst space noids. I just don't know. But he seems resistant to being called one. That has nothing to do with it immediately. But you're right on with the calculations, it's just a fluke. So he holds onto the disc, and then I don't understand why he does some of the things that he does here, but I will shout out these hallway sequences. They make the world feel so alive. They make the ship feel so alive. That there are characters walking past Kamiyu as he goes down these hallways, and, you know, moving through stuff and things. It's really neat. And then this little smile that he gets as soon as he sees Rekoa go by, and he has this thought, ooh, Rekoa, ooh. I also think the way that the characters move through these hallways is really cool looking, with the pulley things and all that stuff. And we start to see Kamiyu probably taking on something of the same role that he probably took on during when his parents were around, which was probably sitting nearby, listening and watching and observing, as opposed to getting involved, of course, because this is what children who have parents who fight do. But more importantly, He starts finding things out, and he stops here for a moment and lets go of the disc. Why he lets go of it, I don't know. It just works here. But he stops when he sees that it is Char talking to her, which is really interesting. And then they look, and he's disappearing. Wait a second, and she goes after him. I love this scene, this sequence where she, like, careens into the wall and then against it and across and down the hallway. It's so good looking, and the shadow looks great. And so does this one as we run past, and then past each other in this tiny hallway. There's this like requirement that you have to be able to interact with other people, that you're going to brush shoulders with other people in this ship. And that changes the dynamic. It changes the feeling of everything. But they're also not characters that we recognize. They're strangers, and that's different, right? If we ever had in Mobile Suit Gundam 1, if we ever had characters go past each other, it was probably like Job John and Hayato or somebody like that, or Job John and Amuro or somebody like that. I don't think it ever really happened because it's too complicated to draw probably, but it makes the ship feel bigger and more alive, and there are a bunch of people we don't know just like running around exercising here, being part of the body improvement club and stuff. It's really interesting. And then he starts to, yeah, he goes over to her place, and she's just chilling, doing nothing, and immediately she opens the door with a smile on her face and gets harsh. What the fuck do you want, Kamiyu? What, I can't visit you without a reason? Fine, whatever, come on inside. Oh, she's so fucking cute. Ugh. There's even a little hair flip in there. But I won't give you any sympathy. Nah, dude, I just wanted to understand why you're a Titan. What's up with that? And then we get interrupted because Rakoa shows up. Kamiyu, 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 Kamiyu. And then she pulls her in here, and they have a chat. I'm here on probation. Could I ask you to take care of the plants in my room? Seems like a death flag, but it's not. She just knows she's leaving the ship. I thought it might have been a death flag, though, because Tomino, God. But she trusts her enough, perhaps, to ask her to take care of the plants in her room, which is actually really cute. And that sparks our conversation. Not much time. I'm going to Earth. I'm disembarking. And Kamiyu discovers the observation room and discovers that all of their rooms are observed, which is an important thing to know. Don't see any reason why the AU has to be so belligerent. I love these locations. I love this angle from above with the camera. It's cute. It's also horrifying, right? They have an always-on CCTV in their female soldiers' rooms with male guards watching the thing. There's a problem here, guys. Somebody call HR. There's a problem going on. This is not okay. But whatever, we're not using it for those purposes, I hope. Anyone can see that doing this will surely lead to an all-out war. Was it really necessary to open fire on Green Oasis? I love this complication and how we zoom out from this thing and show these different angles on all these characters. And I think this is really important. So why would you fire on Green Noah? It doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? And the answer is, well, it's compared to the people at the Colony 30 incident, so we did almost nothing. I don't love this. I don't love this. You can't use somebody else's evils to justify your own evils. I don't think you can do that. We do it all the time. We as individuals do it all the time. We do it in relationships and in fights all the time. Somebody gets angry at you because you didn't do something for them, and you go, yeah, well, what I did to you is nothing compared to the time when you told blah 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 and did blah 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 to me. And all this does is create a blood feud, basically, in terms of a conflict in a relationship, right? In the same way that an eye for an eye doesn't work, it just leads to more eyes and lots of blind people and dead people. In this case, we're using the evils of the Titans to justify our own destruction that might not have been necessary. I think we have to justify it on its own first, that our goal is worthwhile, and then we could say that if our goal is directly in opposition to someone else or their actions, we can say that stopping them is a reasonable thing to expect us to have to make sacrifices for, but even then it becomes really fraught, and it's a very, very slippery slope. Yes, slippery slope is a fallacy, but it's still a very slippery slope from justifying one act of violence based on an enemy act of violence to justifying bigger and bigger acts of violence because reasons. It actually reminds me quite a bit. I don't know if you've seen Genga Eiyu Densetsu. I guess I'm going to spoil something for Legend of Galactic Heroes. If you think you're going to pick it up, do so. It's worth watching. But the incident with Westerland, I think it's Westerland, the planet that they, spoilers, that they nuke, and then they justify it because it's less evil than the other things, right? Than what would have happened. Yep, Westerland Massacre. Very cool. It's a slippery slope. It's really interesting. So there was a rally, and then they used gas. I love the framing of this. I don't know. Poof. And her eyes shiver for a minute with anger, righteous indignation, which it is. G3, poison gas. Again, bringing up old feelings for any Japanese audience, right? The use of poison gas, mustard gas, other things is very World War II related, and there's a lot there that has some more context than otherwise. Use poison gas, but that's impossible. It was banned. You couldn't have done that. Well, she's going to have find this hard to believe. Maybe we'll have to show her. She has the makings of a good pilot for the AU, of course. And he goes, I had no idea either. So he's heard about this injustice as well. Very interesting. What that's going to mean, I don't know. But here our transition happens. Your rank remains the same, but you'll be recognized as having one rank higher. And they'll go, woohoo, 3 extra days of paid holiday a month. Woo! How indulgent. That's why we end up with wimps like you, because these soldiers aren't out here to soldier. They're here for more vacation. All right, we will all take part of this operation with Jared as our leader. Wait, why Jared? Why not me? Well, because ranking. And she just goes, fine, and pieces the fuck out. Bouncing, bye. And he pursues. Did you come to laugh at me? And he swings at her, which is crazy, unless he knows that she's better than he is, which I don't think he does. He's arrogant. But she beats the fuck out of him, and it's super hot. I'm so sorry that I find this attractive, but I do. I don't know what to think about that. Maybe I'll have to investigate that and meditate on it in my own time. Whatever. I think it's really cool. And I think she's really cool, and I think that this whole attitude toward this character that I fucking don't like, who is Jared, is really cool and also attractive. You're so simple-minded to come here and add to your embarrassment. Fool. Why can't Earthnoids understand the difference between Earth and space? So this is really cool. This is that Spacenoid Earthnoid thing, where the Earthnoids see themselves as being better because they were born on Earth, but the Spacenoids righteously and rightfully say, well, we're better adapted to space, and you're in space now, bitch. It's wonderful. Why? But I adjusted so well. Well, you're not adjusting, you're coping. And we start doing this, like, physical dance where he reaches out and touches her without consent, and she rightfully says, don't fucking touch me. I think I've been over this in a Gundam episode or else other episodes. Don't fucking touch people. Come on, guys, gals, everybody. Don't fucking touch people without consent. Especially women, but anybody. I don't like being touched. I bring this up because it's actually important to me individually, personally. I don't like being touched, especially without warning. If you want to reach out and put a hand on my shoulder, you can ask me, and I'll probably tell you yes. But if you just reach out and do it, I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. I'm not gonna be okay with that. I don't like being touched, and there are reasons for that, and I don't need to justify them to you. Just don't touch me unless you've asked for consent beforehand. Fuck. I think it should go for anybody. We learned this shit in kindergarten. Keep your goddamn hands to your goddamn self. Anyway, as long as you continue acting like a brute, you'll never beat me. What? Acting this way is brutal. Such ways of doing and saying things are all your way. You're not considering other people's feelings. You're not going to get any closer to me treating me like you treated the other women in your life. I didn't mean to give that impression. Yeah, but you fucking did. And then she power move Kabedons him? Oh, you could cut the tension with a knife. With a dull knife. And each new situation, a different response is required of you. Adapt better. But I believe I've always done that. How could that be? You haven't seen anything. You're an inexperienced young pup. What do you expect to change? You don't know shit. You haven't experienced anything. Are you implying that I haven't seen anything yet? Yes! If you had, you would have been victorious. And he starts grimacing. Oh, I really do want to beat that guy. I really do. Fine. And he swallows his pride a little bit. Tell me. I want to defeat this bastard. And it is because I have a goal, I have an aspiration, I want to lead the Titans, and if I must, I will swallow my pride and learn from this. And she gives him this look that's like, not bad. Maybe there's more to you. You seem serious. Very well. Commence operations from my ship, and I'll teach you something. I'll teach you lots of things. Let's fucking go. I mean, seeing as we got that one frame of the end credits, Or the preview, I think she's going to teach him a lot of things. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. Wow, what a weird sequence. What a weird situation. But what a complicated interpersonal interaction, and one that tracks for everything that we know about these two characters, and one that feels right for both of them. And the characters act in character throughout it. And it's interesting, and I want to see where that relationship goes. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, we're aware of the incident, and he brings it up to Char. So why was there a riot? Which is more importantly, like, why was this conflict a thing at the incident? And I think this is a core set of lines. And it's a core indication of what Char Aznable believes about the world. Because humans cannot trust other people. Blanket statement. Almost equivalent to because humans are innately evil to some extent, but specifically can't trust. So they don't trust each other, so they doubt. And they doubt, so they eventually think that the others are wrong. And this forces them to make wrong choices. This is one set of justifications for why there might be war, why there might be conflict, why there might be riots like that. I don't think it's right on the money. I think it's a little less mature than some of the conversations that we've had before with Quattro. Maybe because the writers don't have a great grasp on the hyper-complicated concept of why there's conflict between humans. I think it is the lack of trust to some extent, but it's also fear and tribalism and the base evolutionary necessity of being afraid of the people on the other side of the mountain of you. It's all sorts of things. It's all sorts of things. It's also because power corrupts, and if you're in a situation where you're under the thumb of a corrupted power, you're going to want to rebel and revolt and riot. And if the power is corrupted far enough and is authoritarian enough, they're going to come down hard on that. That's my answer to it, I think, to some extent, but it's not a complete answer, not even close. So, do you fight because you don't trust others? And he answers so quickly. No, I fight because the Titans are running out of control. Really simple. They're doing wrong. I'm going to stop it. That's the justification that we needed for before, when it was like, but it's more straightforward and more, it recognizes that it's not particularly right or that it is necessarily justified, in a way that the conversation about the Colony 30 incident, well, what we did is nothing compared to that, doesn't quite get to. I like Char's version of it way better. I mean, Quattro. I fight because they're running out of control. It's as simple as that. They are going crazy and I have to stop them. They're hurting people. So what am I to do? And I love this. What do you feel you should do? Well, I think I'm doing the right thing. Then it is the right thing. Simple. Is it always going to be right? Is it always going to be true? No, because you aren't always going to know what the right thing is, and you're not always going to be in a situation where it's clear cut and what you're doing feels right to you. You can't always trust that feeling completely, but it's better than nothing, and it's better than stagnating, and it's better than doing nothing. So if you find something and it feels like it's the right thing to do, goddamn it, do it. Do it and go hard on it. And it is the right thing at that moment, and be willing to adjust and change course as you go. So great. Okay, what's happening with Rakoa? She's going to Earth. Sweet. Getting ready. Nobody must be in our way. Sip on the big gulp, and we head into space. I like this new battle song. I don't know how often we'll hear this particular one, but boom boom pa, boom boom pa, boom boom pa. It's so cool. All right, so they launch. We talk about sensing hostility and shit. You must focus on all directions and stuff. I don't know about that stuff. The launches look really good. Zoom, boom. And we're doing lots of different separate cuts for them, which makes them look really cool and really dynamic, and I like it a lot. Emanate your mind through the vacuum of space, huh? I don't know if you can do that, but that's cool. All right, and Rakoa gets in, and she's just going and getting going. Yep, I'm going alone. Ensign. And he checks her out. I don't know why we follow the camera this way. I just don't know. I don't know what Kamiyu realizes in this moment either. We're on battle stations, lower the visor. Get out of here, buddy. And she has this moment where there's something unsaid, and he is gone. Char in the white Gundam. Oh, yeah, it's so cool. And we have a full launch sequence for it, because I think he'll be doing this often. It's so good looking. Boom, boom, I love this from Jared. I don't like Jared, but he's learning stuff, and it's scary because he's learning stuff in order to become the head of the Titans and probably become a really bad guy who's competent, which is bad for us, but Another way to live life is to hold back when the time is right to hold back. All so that one can achieve greater success later. Jared, buddy, you figured it out. He figured out one of the other meanings of life, which is sacrifice the present in favor of the future. It's what you do when you work, right? It actually is what you do when you work. When you work, now, I assume that most of the people in watching this video either have close to full-time jobs or go to school. When you go to school or you go to your job and you spend 8 hours or so of your day working or learning, what are you doing? What are you doing during that time? You are getting money, and you need that money to survive. But you need that money to survive today, and you need that money to survive tomorrow, and you need it to pay rent in the future. You're aware of the future, right? You're aware of the future, and so you have to work now so that you can live tomorrow. That's why you work. If you're going to school, you're spending all of your time that you would rather be outside playing or inside playing video games or watching anime or doing whatever you'd rather be doing than doing your schoolwork, because it's work, it's effort. You'd rather be doing something else, and there's no reason to lie to yourself about that. Like to say, no, I love doing schoolwork. Well, do you? Do you? Maybe some people do, and that's cool. I love learning. I love it. I don't like schoolwork, but I love learning. I'll do that on my own time, for sure. When you're going to school like that, you are sacrificing those 8 hours of your day every day so that you can have a better future. So that you can make money in the future for most schooling, but also so that you can be more intelligent and better and have greater successes and a better life. It's all about sacrificing the present, holding back when the time is right to hold back in order to achieve greater things in the future. Right? Right. But when you work and you work in exchange for money, money is literally condensed time. It's condensed effort, right? And you can trade it for other things that are worth effort. And in doing so, you can acquire the things that you need to survive, like food and like housing. Shoutouts to my Patreon. So every time, I mean, I'm in a unique situation because my work is play. My work is the thing that I want to do. It's watching anime, and I love doing it. It's talking about anime, and I love doing it. But that doesn't mean it isn't work, right? It doesn't mean that it isn't work, and it doesn't mean that there isn't a sacrifice here. And maybe one of those sacrifices is I don't get to binge shows the way that I used to. Not really. Because I want to talk about them more than just sit here and go, and just let a show zone out into my brain. I want to be more active in my engagement with anime. So I trade off the easy enjoyment of sitting here and watching 8 episodes of a bad show and just letting it go blah, and melting my brain in order to watch 1 episode of a cool show or a bad show or whatever and talk about it and investigate it and do work with it, in order to, 1, improve my understanding of anime, 2, improve my understanding of other people's perspectives on the world, and 3, create something that maybe I can share with other people, that maybe they'll find value in it and will maybe give me the money in order for me to survive. So again, shout outs to the Patreon. That's how I survive. But this idea that sacrificing the present for the future is really important, and it's the way to achieve greater success, is really an insight for Jared, and it's a big one. He's been very rash in his actions, and I think this is also something that Camus needs to learn, because he's also very rash and direct and kind of over the top in his actions. So I like this line. I like this set of lines from Jared. I think it's really interesting. I'm scared because it's going to make him more competent, but it's great. Okay, so wave, 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 wave. And then shit gets wacky. Lasers going. I love how this mobile suit sort of locks into a new formation with the shield out and the blaster held up. It's so cool. And then stuff starts just zooming. Zoom, 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 zoom. And we could do a lot of these arcing directions through space instead of just floating through space. And it creates a lot of dynamics, a lot of three-dimensionality, a lot of real spatial relationships. Even if they get too complicated, it does create a lot of them, and they're really cool. Stuff like this, I think, is gorgeous. Woof, 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 woof. Cool explosions, awesome lasers, and then this strafing attack run on the mirrors or the solar panels. So rad, so cool. We're floating around with it. It's super dynamic, really beautiful shots. All of the jetpacks and stuff look great. The way that multiple suits are moving past each other in time look amazing. And of course, he goes and Camus goes and gets in his own suit, or somebody else's suit. I think it is the disassembled Zeta Gundam one, which means it's his first time flying it, which is great. Would you like to get off and rest? No, it can still be used. Hand me the rifle. And finally, we get an order. Let Kamiyu handle the situation, silly boy. But thank you, because she recognizes that he's got a crush on her, probably, and he's being a silly boy who wants to protect her and help, but he is doing it, and that's really great. That must be it. I love this moment. I love this moment. With the spiraling shoof, and then the shoofing shoof, and then the spinning duplo shoof. Oh, so cool. It's so cool looking. They're here. Strafing runs, really dynamic, really action-oriented, really cool, and Jared gets himself some fucking respect. He thinks about another person for the first time in his goddamn life. Whoa, they're really good. I should actually shut my face and learn from them. She's sensing the enemy's hostility. I don't know how that works, but sure. Maybe space noids are just better than you. Okay, Kamiyu, don't fall into the trap. I guess he still doesn't have an arm, is the reason? Yeah, he still doesn't have an arm. Okay. One-armed Gundam, can we destroy them? 90 seconds, the timer gets really to be a problem. Shit gets really whacked, there should still be time. Shing, shing, boom, boom, and we lose the Mont Blanc. And watching it from down below, wearing sunglasses like his old rival, is Amuro fucking Ray, baby. What's up, boy? He's doing well for himself, too. Look at this McMansion he's got, chilling by the pool, wearing a smoking jacket. Amuro, war hero, boy. Would you like some tea? Yes. Yes, bring it out to me. I love all the cut-ins. I love these really dynamic shots and how we're moving around really quickly. Again, it feels chaotic, but I like it. Their forces were split up. Oh, gosh. The timer counts down and counts down and counts down. 75 seconds remain. More cut-ins. More crazy shit. Jared, I was going to call him Jidan, but Jared sees Kamiyu and goes in on him, and really goes in on him. Tackles him, finds out that it's him, tries to kill him, absolutely tries to murder him. We fight, we fight, we fight. I don't know where the cut is, where we get the eyes at the bottom of the screen. Kamiyu does something in the mech, and then we get his eyes at the bottom of the screen, and they go like this, like this. It's one of my favorite cuts in the episode. I thought it was really cool looking. And shit gets crazy. All these explosions, all these mechs blowing up, all these insane things. And then moments like this, where it's almost like an Obari punch, but in space. And it gets so close to us. Woof, woof, with the hand. So rad. So rad. And the kick. Woof, boof, boof. 3, 2, 1, 0. She's out. Good. We did it. And we did. There you are. And he's still coming after us. So we lop his fucking arm off. Barely aware in the moment, but we chop his arm off, and he gets collected and picked up by his friend, or new commander. Someday, I'll defeat him with my own hands. Great, and no matter what. And he says also, I don't want to lose. Makitakanai. It's so interesting. The rash, chaotic, jump into a situation without thinking about it character is our main character, and the I don't want to lose, frustrated, but and arrogant, but then trying to become better is our sort of rival. That's so cool. It's so cool. It's such a cool dynamic between these two characters. Is that boy? Yes, it is. How could it be? Well, it could. You've gone to Earth, Miss Rakoa. Bye-bye. And meteorites fall across the sky of Earth. And then we get one frame of... Oh, no, we get the ED. But then at the end of the ED, there's like one frame of... Woohoo! And, yep. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, all right. So that might be interesting, but we've spent an hour and 20 minutes or so talking about this episode, and I think we did a good job. I like this episode. There are a bunch of cool lines, there are a bunch of cool character interactions that are actually really well fleshed out, and I think really deep and interesting, and have different directions that they could lead into the future. And then all the space combat is better than it's ever been. I have no complaints about Zeta Gundam so far. It's so fucking good. It's so good. It's so good. Yay. Such a huge improvement over 1. Even though I know 1 is really good too. Or at least I won't say that it's good. I'll say I like it very much. There we go. Thank you all so much for watching me, Teeaboo, watch Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Episode 6. I hope you've enjoyed the reaction and the video and watching through it with me. If you have, let me know by liking, commenting, subscribing. If you haven't, let me know by commenting that you hate me. I don't know. Tell me why. Tell me if there's something that I'm doing or that the show is doing that's a reason for you to not watch or that you don't like. I'd love to be wrong. I'd love to be shown ways to get better. Thanks to Quartz GG for letting me know about the white subs. They worked really well in this episode, and they'll probably work in the future, so that's great for us in every possible way. And yeah, I had a really good time watching Gundam today. Let's watch more next week. I'll see you there for episode 7 and maybe 8 of Mobile Suit Gundam. Thank you for watching so much. If you want to support me, you can find links in the description. Peace.